G'day, it's Glen Morris here from the Smart Energy Lab, and today we're going to take a look at the new Sunways 5 kilowatt solar inverter. First up, if you haven't heard of Sunways, it's a German company. It was founded in 1993. Wow, one of the early solar inverter companies. It was purchased in 2014 by Suntech's parent company and is now sold in Australia as a CEC certified solar inverter. Dual MPPT, the things you would expect, built-in DC isolator, built-in monitoring, you've got a Wi-Fi dongle, some great features. Some of the standout features from me when I looked at the spec sheet was the 10% overload capability. So for those of you who've maxed out your PV, let's say you got 6.6 kilowatts of PV panels connected to your 5 kilowatt Sunways inverter, it will actually deliver an extra 10% for a short period of time. So that overload capability is built in. Talking of built, it's German engineered, it's very solid. It's made of die-cast aluminium, there's no moving parts, no fans, nothing to wear out basically. Even the screen is an OLED display. Now if you don't know what OLED is, it's much more durable than LED, or LCD, so it's going to last a long time. It can be monitored from an app. It's also got built-in export control, so if you've got requirements from your DNSP to export limit, all you need is the CT option and it will do export limiting. So this little unit, which it's pretty tough and it's really compact and nice to install, is a great 5 kilowatt solar inverter. But anyway, let's take a closer look. Well, now comes the fun part. Let's have a look what's in the box. So this Sunways 5 kilowatt solar inverter with dual MPPT comes boxed, as you might kind of think, in protective packaging. Now, my first impression was, well, oh no, it's a whole lot of non-recyclable packaging. And I usually have a bit of a grumble about this stuff, but I've learned something. This is not what it looks like. This is actually EPE pearl cotton. So it's a type of material that can actually be recycled. It also doesn't break into small pieces like polystyrene foam. So yeah, good on Sunways, actually using an environmentally friendly packaging that also protects the unit really well. So what's in the box? The user manual, you should read it. It's got some lovely pictures in there to make it easy to understand how to wire it up. The mounting plate. This is the mounting plate for the unit here. Gives you 4 points that you can attach to the wall, which is great. And then we've got what I call the lolly bags. So some mounting hardware, some stainless steel screws and wall plugs, so you don't have to make a trip to the hardware store. All our DC connectors for our PV array, so it's a dual MPPT, so we've got 4 plugs and sockets there. The AC connector, an IP67 AC connector that's locking as you click it in, so you've got to actually use a tool to unlock it, so that's great. It even comes with a small Allen key for the Allen screws to tighten up onto your cables. Great. And lastly, in the loose department, we've got the Wi-Fi dongle. Now this is got a USB connector on the bottom here. It plugs into the inverter, which we'll have a look at in a minute. It has a status light on the front to indicate whether it's connected to the customer's wireless LAN or whether it's an access point mode, and an antenna for range. So that's one of the options for monitoring this device. So let's get it out of the box. It's wrapped in plastic. I've already opened it, so I'll take it out. So here we go, the Sunways 5 kilowatt solar inverter. Yes, nice looking unit. The first impressions are that it's really solid. It's die-cast aluminium and heavy gauge. It's got a big heatsink on the back here for passive cooling. There's no fans, no vents. So this unit should stand up to a pretty harsh environment. And I'm also told that the paint finish on this is very, very durable, designed for harsh environments as well. So on the bottom here, we've got a DC isolator inbuilt, which is great. We've got a couple of inputs for our 2 MPPTs. This is where the Wi-Fi dongle would connect, just in here. We plug the Wi-Fi dongle in, and we've got ports here for a CT and also for Dread. Now, the CT is, because built into this unit, is export control. So the software can do export limiting from 0 to whatever percentage required, and all you need to do is run a small cable to the main switchboard with a CT on the end of it. So that's an extra option, I believe, with this unit. And lastly, there's our AC port. So on the front here, we have quite a small display. I've noticed that with many inverter manufacturers, displays are becoming less and less of a thing because they know that's a point of failure, having a big display that's in the sunlight. So it's giving you just some basic information. It's got some status lights for whether it's connected to the grid or whether there's a fault. It's even got a button for going through a small menu on this this screen. So there you go. That's the Sunways 5 kilowatt solar inverter, dual MPPT. And as I mentioned, it's got some really nice features with that 10% overload capability. Great. The Type 2 surge on the DC side, so for lightning protection, and also on the AC side. And it's really solidly built. So there you go.